Hello there, Joe Stern again. Today we're going to be unboxing the PlayStation VR. So this is a very, very cool device. It is a VR headset. In the box we have a couple different things, at least based on the outer box, which we'll find out. PlayStation VR headset, of course. Move controllers, two things I don't have. PlayStation VR World plus the demo disc. So there's, I think, something like 20 plus demos in this thing already. And a PlayStation Move camera, which is something I do actually have. I believe it's probably the same thing, but we'll find out. So, quick thing while we're starting, and if you are new to my channel, you may not know, I am fundraising money for Rainbow Babies Children's through an event called Extra Life, which is 24 hours straight of video games. So I'm going to be doing everything from this to board games and everything in between. It's not easy. I'll be probably coming in off of a red eye beforehand, so it's going to be quite a grind in terms of energy management this year. But if you have $5 or $10, please consider donating. The link is in my YouTube description down here as well. And then if you're seeing this on Facebook and or Twitter, click over to the YouTube video. Please, if you could throw a couple dollars the hospital's way, the kids will really appreciate it. So, back to the unboxing. So this is the PlayStation VR headset. What is that? It is a virtual reality headset, which means that it's showing a stereoscopic image, so slightly different images on each eye that allows us to show depth perception. This is coming out of the PlayStation 4 directly. It's going into a HMD unit, I believe is what they call it. Essentially, it's using that unit to split it between both eyes from a 19 by 1080 perspective, which from a resolution standpoint isn't super great, but you also have to remember it's the PS4 running this, not something like a super powerful gaming rig. The other cool thing about that splitter is it actually does output to the TV in a, obviously not 3D image, which the great part about that is it allows other people to see what you're playing, where you're doing, and then for certain things like the Playroom VR, actually allows people to play with you, which is kind of interesting considering VR, by definition, is kind of a semi-social, isolating experience, at least when you're physically with other people, especially if you guys are all wearing virtual reality headsets next to each other. But kudos for trying, I guess. Anyway, so this is the box. It's pretty large. There's some interesting stuff like peripherals on the side, such as a really cool shooter controller called the VR Aim, which might be fun. I think Farpoint is one of the controllers, or one of the games that's using that controller. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get started by opening up, unboxing this bad boy. Also, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, I am filming this in 360, which is not going to be as great because my current tripod is powering my GoPro over here for a wide angle, so it might be a little bit weird to watch, but still should be fun. So what we have here is, it looks like it's a nice little PlayStation branded large box with a handle like so. I'll show this to the camera. I'm fairly certain this is actually the headset itself plus any of the other cords. And then it looks like we also have another PlayStation branded accessory box. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little box and put this off to the side for right now. Let's open the accessory box first. What do you say? I don't know if I can actually open it. All right, so what do we have here? PlayStation Move controller. Another PlayStation Move controller. Now you'll see that these have these little white orbs on the top of them. These actually glow colors. And the PlayStation camera uses this plus the color on the headset, which you'll see in a second, to track where things are in 3D space. VR Worlds, $40 game retail included in the box for the launch bundle only, as well as everyone gets a demo disc. And these have several interesting demos such as Eve Valkyrie, Drive Club VR, Rigs, Headmaster, Battlezone, Until Dawn, The Rush of Blood, Tumble VR. This one has essentially longer demos, but they're arguably mini games such as the London Heist, Scavenger Odyssey, Danger Ball, Ocean Descents, and VR Luge. So really cool stuff here. A lot of bonus content for people that are getting into VR, because granted, most people haven't actually gotten to experience this. I did with Patrick earlier. So if you go ahead and check the info section, you'll see up there where we have seen it before. That's a separate video. You can click into that if you want. So two very cool games. Packing in is very, very low. So this one doesn't even have a gigabyte ratio. Ratio? No, that's probably not the right word. Gigabyte rating. This is only 9, which is kind of surprising considering what it is. Fun fact, I ordered Infinite Warfare Call of Duty, which I did the Legacy Edition, so it comes with the original Modern Warfare campaign. 130 gigs. It's like a quarter of my freaking PS4, man. Nuts. Anyway, so little rack mount, or TV mount more accurately, for the PlayStation camera, which is technically the Move camera, which is right here. I believe this is just a cosmetic change. The original one was a square, and it was slightly offset, but we'll find out. But anyway, so this mounts it onto the TV, or if you're laying flat. And then I'm assuming these are both charge cables for the Move controller. So we have a nice little branded PlayStation VR cleaning material, camera, and Move controller details. I don't think we have anything else in this box. Nope. So essentially, if you are getting the core bundle, you're not getting any of this, what I just unboxed here. The only thing out of that you will be getting will be the PlayStation VR demo disc, because that's in every single one. But the Move controllers, the Move camera, and VR Worlds is not included in the core bundle box, which is the part we just unboxed here. So now for the main event. We're going to go ahead and slide off this little plastic part right here. And time to unopen the VR headset. Wow, look at this packaging. Kind of wild, right? Sweet. So we have a quick start guide that is enormous. I think you probably could have printed this a little bit larger, but I'm glad, just in case your vision happens to be terrible, you have this. So we do have a couple different graphics in the box here with, so I believe this is the HMD unit right now. A little manual here. Yes, this is. So we have another micro HDMI cord. We have specifically designed headphones. These have one side long and another side short, so you can actually wrap it around the back of your head if you'd like. And then we have the splitter and its power supply. So the splitter looks like a very adorable mini PlayStation 4. And this is where a lot of the magic happens, because we actually have the HDMI in and the HDMI out. HDMI out happens to be this little fun part here, which goes to the headset. And then here we have HDMI in from both the PS4 as well as the TV. As you can tell here, it does connect to the PlayStation console via micro USB to USB, and it also is self-powered. So the next part we got is potentially more cords. Yes, one whole box dedicated to the cord for this bad boy. Hey, you know, better safe than sorry, right? So now we're kind of pulling out some we're pulling out some cords in here, getting to the actual headset itself. So we have a HDMI cable in the box, which is great. Those aren't often included. And then we also have the custom dual HDMI cable thingamajobber that is for the actual PSVR unit from the headset to the HDMD splitter. I think I'm getting that right. Alrighty, so what do we got here? Pulling out a little bit of a piece of cardboard, which has the actual unit encased in a nice area of foam. And we have this pseudo-static / dust cover here. So right here, so I was mistaken, so I believe this is actually coming from the TV into the unit, I believe. Into the PS4. This cord, which is actually obviously connected to the headset, goes into the front part, which I showed you here, which happens to be two very similar looking HDMI cables. Side by sides, that's basically one per eye here. Now the nice thing about this is it does come with a mic power, and the power button is actually on the headset right here, as well as volume up, volume down, and you can manually plug in headphones here, which is supposed to give you spatial 3D audio. I don't know if that actually counts for optical audio. I'm going to find out. I happen to have a Turtle Beach headset that is wireless that uses optical audio, so assuming I can still use it with an HDMI port that I have extra, that should work, but it may just be stereo sound. So anyway, let's get to the main event. And here we go, and here is the headset itself. So it's very, very lightweight. It's got some nice little flexible rubber sides here, as well as some a flexible rubber nose piece here as well. It does have some, obviously, anti-scratch stuff covering some of the fun parts of the unit, including the glass lenses inside. And so the nice part about this rubber-ish area here is that it does not hold sweat. But as you can see here, the main attachment is designed to be kind of a halo on the top of your head. So when you are using the headset, it's not actually necessarily strapped to your face. And then we can press this little button right here. And if we really want, I can quickly put it on so you guys can see what it looks like on. As you can tell here, it's kind of a halo here. It's pushing some of the weight on here, but it's not too heavy. And then I can adjust it to and from here, depending if I'm wearing glasses or not, as well as making sure that I can have a clear picture in terms of focus. The nice thing about this is it's not too heavy. It's not resting on my nose. It's not resting on my forehead. It's resting a little bit above here in terms of weight. So it's something definitely where with adjustment, and you can kind of tighten it up here, you can make sure it's flexed and on your head without being uncomfortable. So that was the one thing that, especially for my initial hands-on with the PSVR, I really did enjoy, just because it was something, it was nice to see how that would be comfortable but not overbearing at times. The other great part about this, especially from a sharing perspective, is because all of this stuff is plastic, it can be easily cleaned with wipes. It dries and it doesn't absorb sweat, which is kind of a pro and a con. Obviously, a lot of the designs from a headset point of view happen just to, trap heat by your face. That's kind of the design paradigm right now. You can't really get around it necessarily. But the nice thing about that is, from a sweat perspective, it's easy to clean these. Easier potentially than a Vive and or an Oculus Rift, because they have foam around the eyepieces, and they also strap to your face, so they have a tendency to trap more heat than potentially this would. But this is definitely something great also if you're wearing glasses, because you can adjust the distance between your, essentially between your face and your pupils here, and allow glasses to work with it. Very, very soft touch plastic, but it is stiff where it needs to be. And then there's some nice padding with a little bit of a grip on both sides. And so you can see here there's lights where this lights up, as well as on the front of the headset here. And that is used by the Move camera to see where your head is actually pointing, and drives that back to the PS4 to tell the PS4 where to show you in 3D space. And then if you are using games that support the 3D, support the Move controller, then you can also use this to have anything from a bow and arrow to even your hands in Job Simulator as an example. But a lot of the games, especially some of these on the demo disc as well as VR Worlds, happens to be controller based for the most part right now, which is not necessarily a bad thing. If you don't have a flight joystick, playing Eve Valkyrie is not going to help you. So having a controller is probably the next best thing, and I don't necessarily know if this would really translate that well in terms of ability to control things. So that is the unboxing of the PlayStation 4 VR bundle. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the YouTube comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there.